Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I'm going to pull this up on my phone. Looks like it's still thinking for a minute. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments as I'm talking. Still not showing up on my phone, so we'll see. As I've been going through and calling you guys and gathering feedback and taking notes, thank you for sharing everything. I wanted to talk about facilitation and talk about the large group setting and the small group setting. Because as I've traveled and taught in different places of the country, or when I talk to admin about running mastermind groups, they're often like, Margaret, our mastermind group, there's just no like content to it. There's nothing I can grab onto. It feels like it's wasted space. Like people don't participate. Like nothing good comes out of it, and we're just sitting there wasting an hour. And I'm not feeling like people are really getting anything out of it. And this happens often. And I realized that it's still not popping up. All right, well, if you guys have questions, hopefully I'll see them here. I realize that a lot of this is about facilitation and learning more and more about how to participate in larger group settings like our 40-person meetings on Fridays, and then how to participate and interact in a small group setting. So I thought I'd go through just a couple different things that I recommend, and I put them in the notes here. So when you're in your small groups, okay, when you're in your small your small accountability groups, what you put in is what you're going to get out. Okay, what you put in is what you're going to get out. So if you're not showing up, if you're not present when you are there, if you're not really listening, not asking questions, not sharing about what's going on with you, what do you think you're going to get back? Exactly that, right? And that has been my experience as well. So one of the reasons I attribute so much of my learning and so much of my growth to groups is because I put myself all in. I shut out everything else in my mind that I have to do, all those things that are eking at me, like, oh, I should probably call my mom because she just had surgery on her hip last night. This is real life. And I should probably call her right now because I just want to check in on her. But I talked to her last night, so I know she's okay. So, that example. Here we go. That's an example, and I've already checked in with her. I know she's okay. I know she's home. So I'm going to put it out of my mind for now, and I'll check in with her later. And I have it on my calendar even to check in with her. So really think about that, and think about the last couple months in stage 1, with this just being the beginning and all of us shifting to figure out what this feels like. Think about on a percentage scale, like 1 to 100%, how much have you given to your accountability groups, or really given to be you? Is it possible that you could give more? And I'm not talking about giving like doing things, like physical things. I'm talking about, it's more about your presence and about what you're doing presently with your thoughts, your words, what you're saying to people, what questions you're asking. So what you put in is what you get out. Number 2, give and receive. So if you are in a small group and you feel like there's let's say there's 4 people and 2 people are just getting a lot of good information, they're making big changes in their lives, things are happening, that is fabulous. And know that if you're on that receiving end and you're getting lots of great guidance or lots of great feedback and you're getting a lot of the group, make sure that you turn it around in your meetings and you ask those other people that are helping you process, that you ask them, hey, where do you need to dig in? What can I help you with? Make sure that the focus is on all of you, and that there's equal time. And we're all responsible for this. We're all, as facilitators, we're responsible for ensuring that everyone feels seen, everyone feels heard, everyone gets a moment. And so sometimes people might not have anything that they need help with at that time. That's okay. But at least they're given the opportunity to participate. And also ask for it. That's number 3. All right? If you're in a group and you feel like other people are getting more out of it and you're not getting what you need, have you voiced it? Have you told people what you need? Have you been super, uber, duper clear about what you need? Oftentimes, I have found that when I don't get what I need, it's because I didn't ask for it, and I can't expect people to read my mind. That was one of my biggest learning lessons in regards to actually self-care over the last couple of years. What I've learned about is that nobody's going to tell me go get a massage. Nobody's going to say, hey, Margaret, go for a walk, eat your lunch, drink more water. No, and if they did, I would probably get annoyed with them at some point. I need to take care of myself. I need to share with people what I need. I need to share with people when I need time alone. I need to share with people, hey, you know what? I am going to go get a massage this weekend, and I might get another one next week because that's just what I need right now. So ask for it. Number 4, consider perhaps appointing a facilitator for each time that you meet. Switch it around, switch to somebody new, but have that facilitator be in charge of ensuring that everybody gets a chance to talk, including themselves, and that they're presently thinking of that. Like that is their job to think of that. All right, you can think about doing that. In the large group meetings, what I'll tell you guys right now, that what I've found most successful about, and I'm talking about meetings that are anywhere from 10 to 40 people, like the one that we have, is your presence. Okay, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you're looking off to the side and typing, I can see it. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna spend my time or our time calling people out on it. But if you're not present, you can totally see it. You can totally read it. And maybe some people don't catch it, but I end up catching a lot of that because that's just what I've trained myself to do as a facilitator. Is I'm looking constantly at everyone, seeing how can I engage so-and-so who hasn't spoken up. So your presence and how engaged you are absolutely impacts whether or not this is going to be a successful large group meeting. And when you're present and you can watch everyone, you can really be thinking constantly about the next question to ask. So sometimes if I feel like I don't have anything to say, I will just be doing my darndest. I'll be in my head, listening, thinking through what everybody has said and thinking, okay, what's the best question I could ask? I'm constantly thinking about that. What's the next best question I could ask that could help us uncover something that we haven't uncovered yet? That is literally what I'm thinking most of the time, because questions lead us to new areas of growth and new areas of discovery, a new perspective, all things that are helpful, right? So be present so you can watch everyone, ask questions, and engage. And in larger group settings, it's a balance, right? So you're not going to find me telling a long story or unless I feel that it's something that's incredibly relevant. You're not going to hear me speak a whole lot in large group settings unless I'm the teacher or I'm the facilitator or something like that. But even then, I prefer to engage the people in the group. So just be aware. It's all about building awareness, right? And knowing how much you're speaking and if what you're speaking really can apply to other people. And so before I'm going to say something in a large group, I make sure, number 1, that it is relevant. I make sure that not only is it relevant, but it's another way to put this, another word I'm thinking of. I might always think, is it relevant? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it really necessary to say this? Is this really going to add value? Is this going to prompt someone to think differently? Those are the things I go through in my head before I speak. And then the last thing that I've heard from some of you is that you're getting a little bit lost on the homework and where things are at. Just know that everything is always in that spreadsheet on the homework tab. If you're ever lost, go to the homework tab. And the main thing to remember about this, guys, is on your map, which I have up here, you are wanting to work on the milestones. Okay, and the milestones contain everything. So any activities we give you outside of that to do with your group are additional activities, but just know, like, we're not grading you. It's not going to be like, oh, you got an A+. It literally goes back to what I said in the beginning. What you put in is what you're going to get out. So if you're looking to get a lot out of this group, then you're going to want to prioritize your time and make sure that when we have meetings and when you interact with your accountability group, you are so present, you're like, you can hear every pin drop. All right? So think about those things. Think about how you're engaging with your small accountability groups, how you're engaging with your large meetings, with our large meetings. And then also don't hesitate to invite myself or Kathleen to any of your accountability group meetings outside of the large group meetings, okay? I have more availability right now than Kathleen does. But if you want me to sit in on a meeting and see how it goes, see how the flow works, and give any suggestions or feedback, or just participate as a participant, invite me. Right, you guys, we get to make our own world. We get to create what we want. And that's why I so appreciate your feedback and why Kathleen and I said from the very beginning, this is a work in progress. We are moving and shifting. We got some feedback from you about what did work, what didn't work. And so now we're moving and shifting with that. It's constantly a work in progress. And that's the beautiful thing, is that we're all willing to make those shifts and make it better, make it be what we want it to be. All right. So invite me if you want to. Ask questions here in the comments if you want to. Just know that a large part about group work that I've learned over the years from failing multiple times is presence. And what you put in is what you get out. All right? Let me know if you guys have any questions. Have a good rest of your Wednesday.